not the podcast you are looking for.
If you're looking for the same old content delivered by the same old people, you are on the wrong pod.
This podcast has life form. You are listening to Stash and Lash.
You're listening to Stash and Lash, the show where we talk about everything that unites us as Mexicans.
One living in the U.S. and one living in Mexico. The Stash and Lash Show. Is this thing on?
Welcome everybody to the Stash and Lash Show. I am your host, El Stasho, along with
your another host, the other host, The Lash. How is everybody? Welcome back. We took a little break again. We can talk about that later, but yeah, we're back. Thank you for joining us.
I think we deserve a break, Lash Show, because we work hard. I mean, come on.
Stash Show.
I'm gonna call you that forever.
I know, it's gonna stick forever.
But
so, my
you
friend,
are the other. I like how you're like your other host.
The other host. Yeah.
The host with the most is. I'm the host with the, I don't know, with the ghost.
Yeah.
That is over. That's October. We're past November now, and now we're in December.
We're like flowing with the holidays, like. We did Halloween, Dia de Muertos, Thanksgiving, and now we are officially talking about Christmas.
We're in the holiday season, Christmas, Hanukkah, whatever you celebrate. But being that you're in Mexico, I grew up Mexican. I grew up Mexican. I grew up in the U.S. It's been a lot. I'll be honest with everybody. I mean, if anybody took some time off, especially in the U.S. side, it's hard to get back to work after a long weekend, right?
Yeah. It's like 4 days.
I took out Wednesday and I came back Monday, and it was hard to get back into the flow. But I wasn't the only one off. G also was enjoying a little time off. Tell us a little bit about your adventure, G.
Oh yeah, we went to the beach. We had like a completely week, like 7 days out of the city, and yeah, we had so much fun. The boys had so much fun. I mean, we do it for the kids mostly, but yeah, I got like mommy time. I got to lay in my chair and put on my headphones and listen to my music and drink my piña coladas, and it was amazing, and it was so relaxing. It was so good, and yes, we do need a little break from time to time, so yes. And how was your holiday, my friend?
It was good. Got a lot of comida, like we talked about. You know, a lot of the typical traditional American food is what we ate. So turkey, no stuffing. I don't like. We didn't have stuffing. My request.
Yeah, I remember that you don't like stuffing.
Yeah, but we had the casseroles. We had the deviled eggs that I made. But my deviled eggs had a little spin to it. How do you call those in Spanish? Deviled eggs? Is it huevos? You know what I'm talking about?
I know about them, but okay. I don't think we have like a specific name. Like deviled eggs.
Huevos diablados. I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, but you know what? You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I made them, but I added it. I added spin to it. I added aguacate to it, so I made it like a guacamole filling on top. I love it. My favorite type. It just do everything but blend it in and make it. So it looks green, and it's very festive leading into Christmas.
Yeah, it is.
So it was good. We ate a lot of leftovers. The leftovers are gone. I want to say officially, no more leftovers in the house. We ate them all. Okay. You know what? I lie. We have a little bit of pumpkin pie left, and we're babying that bad boy. But it was good, G. Thank you for asking. Yeah, I saw your pictures. I was so jealous that you were just living your best life with the kids, and I also love one of your stories of you were stalking a wedding that was happening in the moment, going,
oh yeah,
there's a wedding going on.
Yes,
the part where you got to where you're like, oh, where's the groom? I have to look at the groom. I was like, okay, I want to picture you going.
Yeah, lurking, and you can only picture myself because I was in full bikini mode. Like lurking into the wedding, and I was like, okay, I hope nobody sees me, so I'm whispering, but yeah, of course everybody could see, but I was not the only one. And I was like, okay, I want to see the bride, I want to see the gown, I want to see everything, and I was like so emotional. Every time I go to a wedding, no matter who's getting married, I get emotional. So I'm there, like standing right there, looking at the bride, and knows how beautiful she looks, and I'm like, okay, now it's time to look at the groom, and I'm like, okay, and I saw him, and when he did this thing where he reveals her, like he takes the veil out of her face, he kisses her, and I'm like, dude, don't kiss her, right. not yet. And I just had to cut right there because I was like, okay, it's time to go. It's time to go because I'm going to stay the entire time.
Maybe the guy has been, he's been a virgin all his life, and it's like he couldn't help himself.
I don't think so.
It's like, I've been holding for me freaking COVID, now I can get married. I've been married.
But it was nice. It was this very, considering in the conditions, I was a very small ceremony for what I could see. But it was very nice to do it by the beach, and it was like in the sunset, and it was so pretty. So yeah, I don't know who you are, people, but congratulations I got
stranger.
To see you. Congratulations.
If you happen to come across there, it was her, and
I also said that, like, hey, if you're getting married like right now, I got you on my stories. So hey, congratulations.
Yeah, I'm filming this for you. I'll send you the check later.
Yeah.
So awesome, G. Well, we had some good time off. We're now back, and we decided, hey, what's today's topic going to be about? We're like, what do we talk about? Well, the obvious one, and we started talking about this last episode, is, you know what? We talked about some of the movies and some of the shows. Let's continue that trend right now and talk about our favorite Christmas movies that we enjoy. You being in Mexico and growing up there, and a little bit in the States, me here growing up in the States. What are our favorite movies? And during this time, there is a lot. I'm not going to lie. There's so many that I had to not put on this list. And it was hard because somebody did want to. But I feel like, hey, you know what? Which ones are more significant? Which ones mean more? We will go down that list. We'll go back and forth. We'll talk about, hey, which ones do we have in common? Have we seen it? Do we not agree that it's a Christmas movie? Because I have one that I'm going to disagree with G. And
I think I know. I know, but I have my script.
Maybe. Oh, she's ready. She's ready to debate.
I'm ready to debate.
All right. Well, with that, let's get this list going. So we're going to start off with the very first one. And this was actually on my list because, I'm directing the show here. Sorry, G. I'm going to take lead here. So one that was not on the list that I watched during this time is the 3 Santa Claus movies with Tim Allen. Santa Claus 1, 2, and 3. So a quick little backstory, G. What I do with my kids is we write down all the movies we want to watch, and we put them in a little paper, and we put them in the hat, como un sorteo, a little raffle, and then we pull up the movie and we watch it, right? This one, in the Home Alone movies, we just write the title and it's going to be in the order. We can't go out of order. It just messes it up for us. And this was one that always comes up. I always think of, when I think of Santa, there's a lot of iterations of the actor and who plays them, but this one's one that comes to my mind. I love all 3 movies. It reminds me of being a kid again, thinking about, what would it be? What would it be like to have a dad who is Santa Claus? Like, can you imagine your dad being Santa Claus? Talk about the coolest kid in school, right? That's the way I grew up, and I thought. So one of my favorites, G, do you watch this one? Is this on your list?
I only watched
one of your initial, but
I only watched the first one, and I remember, enjoying it. And maybe when my kids get older, this is going to be a staple. But I only watched one. I didn't even know there were 3 of them. So I need to catch up.
You have a lot to catch up. You still need to watch that Trains, Planes, and Automobiles.
Yes. I promised off air that I was going to watch it soon. Excuse my raspy voice, everyone. I have a cold.
Actually, we like it. It's pretty nice. It's very nice.
Okay.
Hello.
Okay, it's very good.
All right. So that's mine. Again, why I like it is because it reminds me of being a kid again and wishing my dad was Santa. And that's my number 1. Here's go with G. So G sent me a list. And she picked the following, and I agree with her on this one. This is one that we both have in common. Home Alone 1 and 2.
This is my childhood. I think I'm the exact same age as
when you watch it. You go back in time.
Yes, exactly. And I remember when it came out, and I remember watching it, and I was like, okay, this kid is a genius. And I think we all wanted to be like him and prank everybody and of course protect our house. and around the holidays, and the fact that he was home alone. I remember my mom was like, what kind of parent does that? But I mean, at the end of the day, it's hilarious. He could take care of himself, and yeah, this is like my childhood right here with Christmas memories. Every year I have to watch it more than once. I mean, as soon as we go past Dia de Muertos, which is like our last holiday before the Christmas time, we have to watch it, like 1 and 2. The third one I didn't watch. I didn't care for
There's
it
because there's a fourth one now too.
Oh, and I think there's going to be Home Alone, like a remake of the first one.
It's out. No, I mean a remake or a reboot, I think, but it just came out on Disney Plus here. Oh. And did you see the movie Jojo Rabbit?
Jojo Rabbit, yeah, the kid with the glasses, which I love. Is going to be.
He's a funny kid. I haven't seen it yet. It's out now on Disney Plus. So if you have Disney, you can watch it here in the States. I don't know if it's out there in Mexico, but it's out already. So I haven't seen it yet. I need to watch it, and I'll give you back my take. But I didn't really care for the third one. It's the 1 and 2 for me.
Yeah, completely. And I remember that the Home Alone 2 was like, I need to go to New York. I need to see the tree on Rockefeller Center. And I just fell in love with everything about it. And yes, this is like my Christmas movie, like by far. And I actually know some of the dialogues. And yeah, we watch it all the time.
What's the dialogue that, all right, I got to put you on the spot. What's one of the dialogues?
When he's watching like this movie, like keep the change, you filthy animal.
Filthy animal.
Yes. All that. Yeah, I love that.
My favorite scene is the second one when they're in the hotel and they go up to his room because they discovered that he's alone, right? The credit card was declined.
Was stolen. Yeah.
Yeah. So they go in there and he plays that same old video, right? And he's like, and you were smoochy with my cousin Steve or something. And my brother Steve
and Cliff, and one of them was named Cliff, and I was like, yeah, hilarious.
He's like, I don't know. But it's funny because the actor who played the what would you call him, the hotel manager. He's the same actor who was in It, who was in Rocky Horror movie show. Such a good actor. Funny guy. But I think Home Alone, what I love about it is, you mentioned it too. What was, when you're a kid, you've always wanted to create booby traps and stuff like that. I don't know about you, G, but when I watched it, I was trying to replicate some of those things, or not exactly those, but I always like one of the ones that I always like is the one where you open the door and there's a rope and there's something on top. So when they open it, it would fall on their head. Yeah.
I tried, but my mom was like, "Don't you dare."
Don't you dare try
Don't you dare.
And you have 2 boys, so be careful, G. Before you know it, they're going to booby trap that house. And you're gonna
yeah. They're already, yes. Yeah, if we ever watch that with them, they're going to be like, I'm going to put Legos on the floor on purpose. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And I think it's one of those movies, too, that when you see it, you can't help but laugh. I always laugh about what they do on the prank, but also you can't help but go, ooh, like cringe. And one of the ones that makes me cringe all the time when I watch it is, I want to say it's the second one, where Marv, the taller curly hair one, he's down in the basement and he's trying to get up the stairs and he put that nail. Remember that? And
yes.
I was like,
yes.
Oh
yeah.
Like I still get chills when I watch that. Like that's,
yes. But it's so good. It's so funny. It's so funny. It's so funny. Like every kid is like, yes, what am I going to do next? Yes.
Yeah. So got to be careful if you have kids. I mean, but at the same time, let us know if you also can relate to those movies, or tell us about your prank that you remember the most. That one, the one that makes me cringe. There's so many though.
And it will be fun to know, because I mean, this was released in 1990 and I was 10, you were 9. And I mean, a lot of people, like, I don't think a lot of people were born, but that
still
time,
enjoy it.
Yes, exactly. So it's like timeless. It's one of those movies that are completely timeless, and the music and everything about it is beautiful in a sense, because it's like all the emotions about taking for granted your family and suddenly not having anything and being alone. It's an important holiday, and then being reunited with your family. It's like it has a lot of family
has a lot
values.
of we call the secret ingredients for a holiday Christmas movie, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, again, that's one we agreed on. Right away when I saw that, I'm like, oh yes, that was part of our staple. We have to watch it, and to your point, watch it several times throughout the year or throughout the season. So here's another one. And this one's on your list, and also, you know what? I also agree with this one. This is a good one. You brought up The Holiday.
I love that movie. I love it. It's one of the newest movies. It was released in 2006, I believe. But it's such a good movie. It's such a lovely love story. Because, I mean, again, come on, love stories, Christmas, everything about family. Yeah, it's so good. And the four of them are amazing. I love them.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? I wasn't much, I'll be honest with you, I was not much of a rom-com guy growing up. And of course, until, you know, I met my wife, and she was a big fan and finally said, we have to watch these, and then I'm hooked. Like we watch this one all the time. Though, of course, I don't know what is it about you, G, but you have a connection. You love the British. You gotta love. You always like you love those connections to the UK, the London, the accents, the whole thing, and that's of course takes place between
the location. Funny, right? Yeah, the locations. The accents. How beautiful everything is. Like how, and I mean Kate Winslet. Like, come on, she's brilliant. Jude Law, he's gorgeous, and yeah, and it's like, I don't know, it's a romantic comedy, but it's funny, it's fresh, and of course it has the holiday Christmas element to it, so it's perfect.
It's a beautiful story. It's a fun story. Again, my surprise is that Jack Black, right? You always see him as a comedian, just straight up funny, but just to see him in a role where he is actually a romantic figure.
And he's still the funny guy in the plot, but he's like a composer, and he's very successful, and he works with Cameron. No, with his... Yeah, I think he works with her, and it all works because he gets the pretty girl at the end.
And I think, to your point, it works. Like sometimes when you see movies and you're like, I don't see the chemistry, they actually had good chemistry, Kate and him and
all
Jack.
had good chemistry.
Yeah, all four of them. I think it was cast perfectly. But you know what made me think about this, G? I was like, okay, it's kind of like Stash and Lash in a way, where it's like the UK and the US, and this, we need to do a holiday, me and you. Like we'll have to change. We have to switch places here in Mexico and the US.
You can come to the cold weather. You can have like your big jackets and your beanies, and I can be in shorts in December in Arizona.
Yeah. There you go,
right?
What would it be called instead of the holiday? What would it be? It would be el how do you say holiday in Spanish?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Las vacaciones.
Las vacaciones.
El retiro.
There was a movie called Las Vacaciones, and I don't know.
La risa en vacaciones. That's a whole different
that's
topic.
Another topic.
That's
my gosh. Well, we did el holiday.
El holiday. El holiday.
El holiday. I can see that. You know what? Don't take that idea. Just trademark it. If somebody starts making that right now, espérate.
Wait.
We started that first.
Yes.
All right. So that's another one. I would say, yes, that one was in your list. I agree with you on that one too. I think definitely one of our rom-coms, actually one that, is a staple for me and the wife. So we watched that together. My kids, not so much. They can care less.
They're going to watch it eventually.
Oh, when they have their...
yes.
Yeah. When they have the girlfriend that goes, let's watch it.
It would all make sense one day. They're going to be, I love it now.
Yeah, right. And I'm like, oh, remember when and I told you to watch it when you were a kid? You didn't want to watch it. Oh, yeah, it's different. It's different. I'm like, oh, exactly. I bet.
I get it now, Dad.
I get it now. All right. So you had that one as yours. And again, great movie. But one that was not on your list. And when I saw the holiday one, well, another one came to my mind that I love just around that same kind of genre.
I think I know.
What do you think it is?
Love Actually.
Bam!
Love Actually.
Right, and it's also like a UK one.
Yes.
It's super awesome. I think it's hilarious. A lot of stories there. A lot of great actors and actresses. And of course, my favorite scene of all of it, and this is one I tell today, and when we're gonna do that as a Halloween costume, or Halloween as a Christmas costume, is we're gonna replicate this scene. So I have the note cards. I'm gonna be doing that, and hopefully we win. We're gonna do a holiday. We're gonna do a Christmas party, and we'll see. That's my idea.
To me, you are perfect. I love that scene. I love that scene. That's maybe my favorite scene from that movie. I thought about that movie, but I was like, this is for sure going to be on the list. For sure. If I don't mention it, he's going to mention it. So, yes, this is a very good Christmas British movie. And yes, it's very nice.
I feel it in my fingers. I feel it in my toes.
Hugh Grant is brilliant. I love him. Everybody. They're it's a very good movie.
It's a fun, again, another great one, and one that I'm glad that you also have it. I'm again, like I said, today we're not going to be able to cover all of them.
No, sadly.
But ones that come to mind, so and what started is like G sent me her list, and then I was like, oh, one that reminds me of that one's this one. Oh, that one reminds me of this one, right? So, or you know what, I agree with that one, but there were a couple that I'm like, interesting. Why did you pick that one? And again, I have nothing against it. I know that some of it does play, but I don't know. And this is one.
Oh, this is going to be good.
There's two of them. This is one though, and she mentioned, the Harry Potter movies, and I'm like,
it's not okay.
I'm like,
it has nothing to do with Christmas per se, but in most of them, they go back home on the holiday Christmas break. So it's snowing. They have this huge coats. You can see the Christmas tree on Hogwarts. And I don't know. I know they never talk specifically about Christmas, and there's never a Christmas celebration. But for me, for some reason, Harry Potter makes me even the music. I don't know what it is. And I was going to put a annotation when I send you the movies, but I was say no. I want to explain this on the podcast by myself. But yeah, it has absolutely, and I'm totally aware of that. But for some reason, at the end of the movies, I don't remember exactly which movies. The first one for sure, when they go back home because they are on holiday and they say their goodbyes and have fun on your Christmas holiday, and it always reminds me, and it gives me this warm, cozy feeling of Christmas. So yeah. That's the reason. You may not agree with me, and you're probably saying what? But yeah.
And you know what? You're entitled to you're entitled to it, right? And I think the key is this, G, is what reminds you of Christmas and holidays, right? And if that reminds you, I can't deny that, right? That's
and maybe next time you watch a Harry Potter movie, you're like, yes, it's snowing. Okay, it's winter, Christmas. You know, maybe.
I mean, I kind of, for me, I see it. No, I think it's a whole different genre, and it has so many different things, right? And to your point, maybe the first few, movies has a lot more that tie in, and a few other ones. For me, I kind of also see it like a transition between Halloween and Christmas type as well, kind of that transition period. But no, I haven't. For me, it's it's got to be a true Christmas.
Yeah, there's got to be there has to be a tree or Santa Claus or
some kind of story around. When I think of Christmas, I think of family. I think of joy. I think of hope.
Food.
Food. Celebration. I mean, all these things that come to mind. But I really don't see that tie in. But again, thank you for explaining. I want to see if anybody else agrees with G and last show here.
That feeling. It's not, I know. And believe me, I'm a Potterhead, and I know my Harry Potter facts, and I know it's not about Christmas, blah, blah, blah. It's just that feeling I don't know.
Yeah. And wait, do you have I know you have a Star Wars tattoo again?
Yes, I do.
Oh yeah. Do you have a Harry Potter tattoo?
I have a light bulb, but
Let me see, do that. Let me see.
No, not here. And I initially got it because I love David Bowie. and that's what like his symbol. But when people see it, like, oh, that's Harry Potter, and I'm like,
Sure.
So 2 birds.
Yeah, 2 birds, 1 stone.
Mhm.
All right, well, cool. Well, thank you for explaining that, G. Again, I'm sure you're not alone. There's probably maybe
Oh, it
one
would be
person
interesting to
out there.
see if somebody agrees with me and doesn't think I'm crazy or creepy like he does.
Uh, yeah, so defend G's honor and say, you know what, I also see that, and I think that's a holiday movie. Okay, fine. Defender. Let's see if that's true, but I think
Who
we'll see.
knows?
We'll see.
Who knows?
All right, but let's go back to what we have in common, and one that you put in that list is yes and yes and yes. Is of course, and this is a recent movie, Elf. Oh my gosh, it's in the 2000s.
It's crazy. Yes, of course.
I think this has all the secret formula for a great Christmas movie, and it's I think it's I hate to say it's unique because it kind of copied the Baskin the old Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer stop animation that was back in the 70s, I believe. Kind of mirrors that, but it's its own unique thing. I think it's one of a kind. I mean,
it's so funny.
Will Ferrell. I mean, I can't picture anybody else but Will Ferrell as a role elf, right?
Yeah. It's so funny, and this is another movie that I have to watch. I have to, and I laugh like a kid every single time. And actually, I one time tried to replicate the spaghetti with marshmallows and chocolate syrup. Yes, of course.
What?
And it's not bad.
What?
It's gross. It's gross and disgusting. But I was like, okay, if he eats that, it must be good.
And it wasn't bad?
It wasn't that bad. I mean, the second bite was like, okay, enough. But it was not terrible.
You know what? I don't think you're alone. I'm sure a lot of people have tried that. I haven't tried it personally. I mean,
you can find the recipe on YouTube.
You're
welcome.
Serious?
Yes, what? Of course.
Of course. Oh, geez, Louise, man, we should have replicated and like eat it. You know what? That'll be something we'll probably want to do one day.
We have to do that as a reaction podcast someday, like strange recipes or something like we can try, and it would be hilarious. But yes, Elf, come on, that's a staple.
It is, and I know I've done some research. I mean, I show this a lot at work when I talk about. When you have to think on your feet or you have to think outside the box and improvise during this time of the year, I always tell the story of Elf because, I mean, just the fact that movie, first of all, was created by, the writer is Jewish. He was not, Christian. And he's like, I love Christmas music, Christmas movies. So he wrote this story. And from there, it just kept, a lot of different roadblocks. They wanted to get Chris Farley to play Elf, and he said, no, I don't want Chris Farley. Yeah. Chris Farley was originally going to be the character of Elf, and they're like, and the writer's like, no, I don't envision, it doesn't match. And I'm glad, because it'll be a whole different movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm trying to picture him, and I just can't.
Chris Farley as Elf, I don't see it, right? And then, this is Jon Favreau, who is, director of Iron Man and Mandalorian. This was like his first major production. He produced a movie prior, but it wasn't well known. But this one, was kind of like his staple for his first, movie directorial debut. So that was awesome.
Wow.
Another fun fact: the budget was only $30 million. So if you think about Grinch, which is another great holiday movie, that one was $120 million budget. So what a big difference that he had to work with less budget.
Yeah,
and it looks great. It doesn't look cheap. It looks very well. So crazy. I can go on. I mean, this is one of my favorite movies. G, I'm glad you picked that one. I'm like freaking freaking out. I already seen it twice this year. I'm probably
I'm going to watch it tonight. Yeah, I'm going to watch it tonight.
I mean, gonna watch it several times. So here's another one that you had in your list, and this is one I didn't. I'm like, people argue about this, and there's actually a movie that just came out on Netflix, and let me know if you've seen this one. It's called Love Hard.
Yes,
super cute movie. And one of the things that they talk about. Did you like
it?
I liked it.
I didn't.
I liked it, and they were talking about this movie and, of course, Love Actually. We'll talk about that one later then if we have time, but I thought it was cool. I liked it. But Die Hard.
Really? Okay.
How is it? Okay, you gotta explain yourself.
It is a Christmas movie, and I can name at least 5 facts why it is considered a Christmas movie. Are you ready?
Okay, let's do it. Number 1.
Are you ready? Number 1. It all happens during a Christmas party at the office. So it's around Christmas.
Okay, fact number 1. Okay, Christmas party.
2, it snows at the end. It's winter, it's Christmas. Fact number 3.
Okay, I'll give you
Santa Claus makes an appearance, like randomly, but he shows up. There you go. Number 4.
Number 3.
The wife of John McClane has a Christmas holiday-ish name. Her name is Holly. There you go.
I think you're stretching. That's a little... they're starting to get a little out there. What's number 5?
Number 5. Let me think. The snow, the Christmas. It is.
What's number 5?
This is a debate, and I love it because some people think it's not, and there's a meme about like it's not Christmas until I watch Hans Gruber fall from the Nakatomi Tower. So you know it's holiday season. So yes, of course, yippee-ki-yay, it is a Christmas movie. Your face, you thought I was going to say it. You thought he was going to say it. It is a Christmas movie. Deal with it. Accept it. It is.
Oh my gosh! All right, I'll give you the Christmas party. I'll give you the Santa Claus appearance, and everything else. I'm like, what? Snow?
It is.
There's a lot of movies with snow, so it's like,
I think they asked Bruce Willis himself, "Hey, do you consider Die Hard to be a Christmas movie?" And he was like, "Hell yeah."
Oh, I think I know number 5. Number 5 because it has Christmas soundtrack.
Oh, of course. There's soundtrack. Christmas movie music. Yes, it is a Christmas movie. It is. Fight me.
Okay, that's 3 out of the 5. Okay, but the snow and her name being Holly. Oh my gosh, really?
Holly McClane. It is.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
I don't
know.
I knew you were gonna be like, I don't think I'm quite so.
You know what? I'll be honest with you, G. It's been a while. It's been a minute since I've seen the movie, because I don't consider it a Christmas movie. I don't have it on my list of things to watch, so I need to watch it again. I need to go in with an open mind, which is going to be hard.
Go with an open mind,
because I don't think it is, but I have to go in with an open mind.
It doesn't have like Christmas like in your face, but it is. It is a Christmas movie. It is. Trust me.
Trust you. Okay. All right, folks. Well, here's another one. Help us with this debate. If you think otherwise, if you think that Die Hard is a Christmas, you're with G, then let me know and tell me why I'm wrong. But if you're with me and saying, yeah, no, it's definitely in the bottom of the list, I don't even consider it part of the list. That's me. But all right. Well, again, G, we can't agree about it all. And I'm glad, because this would be a boring podcast if we agreed all the time.
Exactly.
Oh, I agree. Yes, that one. But no, you make it easy because you come up with the most random stuff. All right, another one. This is mine. This is on my list. I wasn't on your list, and I don't know if you've seen this one or if it's on your list. But for me, this was my favorite Christmas movie. My number 1.
I'm curious.
Which is
I'm
hard
intrigued.
because we went over a lot of good ones, right? Elf is definitely up there, top 3 for me. This is my number 1.
I'm intrigued.
Christmas Vacation with Chevy Chase.
With Chevy Chase?
I love this movie. It's so funny. It reminds me of every time I have to watch it right after Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving's over. Christmas it's the holiday season. It's time to watch this, and he reminds me a lot of me, because I like to think things over the top. If I had a limited amount of money and no budget, I would spend I would decorate my house like nobody else. Like I would put lights and make everything a big deal, make a big party. I go all out when it comes to things. And sometimes I need to be brought back to life and going, yeah, honey, we can't afford that. That's a little too much. I like to take things over the top. And I like the series of the National Lampoon's Vacation movies. So there's a family vacation, there's European vacation, there's this one, and there's also the Vegas vacation. I don't know if you've seen them all.
No.
But Chevy Chase is Clark W. Griswold, and he takes everything to the top.
Okay.
Always extreme, exagerado,
Okay.
exaggerate everything. So
here's another one on my list. I need to watch this ASAP.
You haven't seen it?
I haven't.
All right.
I was like actually intrigued when my number one. I had no idea.
Yeah.
I have to watch it.
I love it. Gee, you're gonna love it. And again, it's funny, right? Because it's interesting that this one also has a very about the same year or same era about the one with planes, trains, and automobiles.
Mm-hmm.
So, again, if you agree with me, this is a great movie, Staple. Let me know what you like about it. I don't want to spoil too much, G, but every moment you're just like, either you feel bad for the dad because he wants to make a special holiday for his family, but everything just gets over the top and gets worse and worse.
I promise I'm going to watch it.
Until it gets better. So
I promise I'm going to watch it. So I have two movies to watch.
2 movies. I'm going to add some more to your list later.
Yeah.
But yeah, when you watch it, that is me. I am the Mexican Clark W. Griswold of my family. And then every time I watch it, my wife looks at me and laughs. Like she's like, "Oh, that's you.
That's so you."
Over the top, exagerado. All right, this one was on your list, and not really on my list. And I don't disagree that it's not a Christmas movie. It is. This one is, unlike Die Hard. But I really don't watch this every year. It's very rare, but this is on your list. And I think when we did the the Macy's parade and stuff, you mentioned one of the characters, and I'm like, okay, I guess it kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
You put down Charlie Christmas.
Yeah, the Christmas tree. Yes, of course, Charlie Brown, Snoopy, and all the gang. Yeah, I have to watch this movie. I haven't watched it. I think for a couple of years, but it's also I love everything about Snoopy. I told you about this on the Thanksgiving because I actually retweeted the Snoopy balloon this year.
Yeah.
I think it was an astronaut or something.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. And yes, I always try to watch this movie also. I think the boys are going to love it. And it's so pretty. It's so, like, again, childhood memories for me.
Yeah. Well, again, it's one of those that, I mean, I've seen it. It's been a while, so I can't recall exactly what the story's about or what have you. But, it's interesting that this one stays with you. Again, it's one of those, we all have our favorites, our preferences. What do you recall? What exactly from the movie that you like the most about this? What is it? Is it the story? Is it this? Is it what is it that just
Yeah, the story overall, and the story specifically about the little tree that is like so weak and little, and it's not like very pretty. But at the end of the day, it works because it's not about how pretty the tree is; it's about the love surrounding it. So yeah, the storyline about the tree, it's so pretty.
Okay, I love that. That's a great. I mean, I'm all about the great story, and I love that part.
Yeah.
I haven't, like I said, I haven't seen it, so I can't recall the storyline, but it makes sense now. I mean, that's why, you see a lot of decorations. They have that little Charlie Brown Christmas tree that just looks so,
Yes, exactly.
very bare with one bulb,
with bulb. Una esferita ahí, chiquita.
But it's so true, right? Christmas is not about like, and it's funny. We just talked about 2 different movies, right? Where you have what about the dad that goes over the top, wants everything big, but it's not about that. And I'm like, damn it, I feel like a horrible dad now.
Oh no. Oh no. Insert emotional music right now.
Yeah, so this is where I need to remind myself what Christmas is all about. It's not about the lights, it's not about the food.
It's about the love.
It's about the tree. No, I'm just kidding, it's not. But I think that's a great story, G. And again, maybe a lot of people also like yourself, right? It's one of those movies that you watch again, maybe it's one of those I have to go back and rewatch again. Maybe it'll bring back some memories.
Yeah,
it's been
and it's
so
short
long,
and
I can't
sweet.
recall.
Yeah. It's nice. It's short and sweet, and like the music again. I'm like I like when movies have a strong music presence, and this is one of them, and I love it.
Okay, awesome. Well, cool. So far we've talked about our favorite Christmas movies, and all of them have been really catered around the U.S. Most of them are U.S. centric. And, again, it makes sense, right? The U.S. produces so many content and movies for the world, including Mexico, and which I love, right? I love that, you grew up and a lot of my family, friends, and relatives that live in Mexico also get to experience these movies. I imagine, in Spanish or dubbing, or maybe even in English. I mean, do you watch them in English or Spanish when you watch them?
No, in English. Yeah, in English. Completely.
Yeah. So again, it all depends on your preference there, but I love that you get to we get to experience that there. But there are, I told you, I'm like, hey, there's gotta be Spanish, Mexican movies that we watch during the holidays, and since G just did the last one, I'll share mine. And this one I remember growing up. I haven't watched this in a little bit, but I as soon as I thought about it, we shared this. I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to find this movie because it does remind me of being a kid again, here in the U.S. and my parents watching Spanish TV, that it would come up every year, and that was called Santa Claus or Santa Claus. And this one again,
who is that?
Is in Mexico. I don't know who the actor is, but it was in Mexico back in 1959. This is a 1959 movie. And the story, the premise here is that you have El Diablo. That's why you see the devil there on the bottom right. Is trying to, ruin Christmas for all the boys and girls, and he's trying to, of course, mess it up for Santa Claus. And you see basically the whole, Santa Claus is going through various countries. You see him trying to overcome the Diablo from ruining Christmas, and the Diablo, of course, will try but would fail. Is very cute. And I don't know if you can see on the bottom left, there's a little girl there by the Diablo. She is so cute. And again, it's just one of those heartwarming stories when you see, because there's a scene where you start to see the disparity of when kids that are poor and don't have means, the parents can't get them presents, and of course Santa comes to the rescue.
Santa sees you with his master eye.
Yeah, and this is like an English dub, right? So they would dub it in English, but I saw it in Spanish. It's such a great
I have
story.
no idea. I don't even know who the actor is. I have to look this up.
Santa Claus. And there's I think there's like one of the characters in there that Santa has, his name is Merlin, which is weird. Like, why are you gonna mess up different Merlin from what is it called, King Arthur and the Round Table?
Yeah.
Santa Claus. But it's just the funny characters. It's like it makes you like kind of go, what? Who created this?
I'm intrigued.
Great story.
I'm intrigued.
They gotta find it.
Yes.
Santa Claus.
Santa Claus.
That was mine. Let's go to yours. Yours on the list, and this is one that was very topical because we talked about him in another episode.
El Inocente con Pedro Infante y Silvia Pinal. Okay, so this is very funny. Haven't watched it in a while because this storyline happens around New Year's. So it's still on the Christmas, New Year holiday thing season. It's very funny. I don't want to spoil it. I mean, it's a very old movie anyway.
Yeah,
it was aired in 1965. And yeah, she's like this very rich girl from Mexico, and she is having New Year dinner with her family and whatnot, and her boyfriend. And suddenly he comes around. He's a mechanic, and he comes around and he joins the party, and they get like super drunk, and one thing happens, and they end up spending the night together. And they wake up together, and they're like completely like, what happened? I have no idea what happened. And of course, everybody figures out that they spent the night together, which at the end of the day, you figure out that they didn't. They just slept, like literally, because they passed out because they were so drunk. And they are trying to get them married because, of course, they spend the night together. So what else is going to happen? So a lot of things happen around this story, and it's very funny. And they don't know each other, of course. And he's so sweet, and she's like so arrogant and a brat. And eventually they end up together. And it's, again, a love story around the holiday season. And it's very nice. One of the last scenes is so funny because she's like, hey, do you want me? Because she's rich. Again, she's rich, and she's so used to having people around her doing things for her, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, no, you are my wife and you have to do stuff for me. I don't want anybody doing things for me but you. And at the end of the movie, she's like, hey, do you want me to wash your clothes? And want me to... And it's so sweet. It's so sweet. I mean, again, it's a long time ago, and maybe those era. Kind of things are not like very well seen right now. I don't know. But it's sweet. It's funny. It's fresh. Pedro Infante, come on. And Silvia Pinal, as pretty as ever. And if you haven't, I highly recommend you go watch it.
Yep, definitely gonna watch it. Put it in part of my list for this year. Take a look at it, and then see that
mom.
connection.
Ask your mom.
She probably knows. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure.
For sure.
Because I think she'll be like, I'm like her. I used to be very, I was so pretty when I was young, and all this stuff. I'm like, okay, ma, calma. So that's interesting. Yeah, look at that. We have two, movies that we grew up with or that we can recall from the Mexico side, the Mexican side, and we really haven't seen each other's movies. So there you go, something we can exchange. Yeah, I look at when it looked up really quick for the cast of that movie. Again, it was back in 1959, which is crazy that it was that long ago. And the one that played Santa Claus was Jose Elias Moreno.
Jose Elias Moreno, of course.
He played Santa Claus.
Okay.
And El Diablo was played by Jose Luis Aguirre or Trotsky. No idea who that is. El Mago Merlin. That's what you Merlin. Was played by Armando Ariola. And of course, there's a lot more from there, but those are the main cast members.
I have to look that up.
Yeah, the director was Rene Cordona. So yeah, there you go. So take a look at it. I know, again, it was a staple growing up, watching it. It would come up in the Spanish channels here in the U.S. I'm not sure if it continues to play every year, but growing up, I remember watching it. So I need to go and find it to see if it still exists. Now, looking it up on, I'm looking it up right now on IMDb. And then it doesn't have a lot of stars. They put 2.7 stars out of 10. Makes me sad. I'm like, really? That's because you guys all know Spanish. You guys are marking it wrong. It's like, stop it.
I have to look that up. I watch that, and you watch El Inocente. Deal?
Okay, deal.
Okay.
Oh, well, you got to watch Christmas Story or Christmas Vacation. Christmas Vacation.
Yeah. I promise.
Yeah, and I'll watch Die Hard again, just with the fresh eyes,
with an open mind, and I'm going to be like Pepe Grillo. It is a Christmas movie. It is a Christmas.
even when you try to sound like a grillo, you still sound like a bodybuilder grillo with your voice. It is a Christmas movie,
it's
kid.
So deep right now. I sound like Darth Vader.
You actually, earlier you said you sound like Phoebe. So do your smelly cat.
Oh my God.
You got to do it.
I can't. I'm going to laugh all the way through. Don't put me don't display me.
No, it's not showing like that. It's different.
Smelly cat. I cannot. I can't.
Let me get off video.
Oh my God, you're the second person that said that to me. That asked me.
I'm off video now. Okay, you're all by yourself.
Oh my gosh. What are they feeding you? I can't.
I like when I put you on the spot. It's Jesus, like no,
and I transform.
I know. You need a guitar. That's what it was.
I need a guitar.
Missing. Yeah, that's what it was, folks. Please forgive her. She was not ready.
I tried.
I put her on the spot.
I tried though. He always does that to me. I need payback soon.
That's the power of being the producer. I have
Exactly.
the power.
I know, right? Like, it's up to you, Mr. Producer.
Oh my gosh. So we covered our favorite. There's a lot more. We didn't have any images for these, but is there any other ones that come to mind, G? I mean, for me, one that we was missed was the Grinch.
The Grinch.
The Grinch. Of course, it's the cartoon, the animation Grinch, and then of course the one with Jim Carrey. I like the one, my one's with Jim Carrey. I like the live action one. It's just one of my. I love that. It's a funny movie as well. Not in my top 10 or 12, but it's still one I watch. Is there another one that comes to your mind that we didn't cover?
Oh my gosh, I don't know. There's one called Miracle on I don't know what street.
34th Street.
34th Street, right? But yeah, I think maybe that one.
Miracle on 34th Street. That one again, not one of my. There's been various versions of it, right? There's been various iterations. One of them that is funny, I do enjoy, but nobody in my family enjoys, so I never get to watch it. It's called It's a Wonderful Life.
It's a Wonderful Life. I don't know what that movie is.
Yeah, it was back in 1946 with James Stewart as the main actor. And it wasn't very popular back then because they said it it promoted communism.
Okay.
But I think I love the story. Again, it's about it's a love story, so you can tell maybe one of the original rom-coms back in the 40s. But
okay,
it was about.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You know,
I just like
another light bulb.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Scrooge.
Oh, Christmas Carol.
Yeah. That's also a staple. My husband loves that movie. I don't love it that much. Yes, loves. But yeah, I just like, bing, I remember.
Christmas Carol is a big one. There's been various movies of that, right? There's the animation one with Jim
Mickey
Carrey.
Mouse one.
There's a Mickey Mouse one. There's
that's very good.
The Muppets did one too with with Kermit the Frog and all the cast. But yeah, the Christmas Carol, that's a good one too. That's one as well. There's different kinds of different movies of those, different versions. But now that you said that, another one that came to mind that has a lot. Oh no, it's also A Christmas Story.
Okay.
Have you heard of that one? That's one about the kid who wants to buy the BB gun or wants the BB gun, and they say you're gonna poke your eye out.
with Schwarzenegger, with the this is another one actually. El Regalo Prometido.
Yeah, it's Jingle All the Way. I think it's about Jingle All the Way.
I'm sorry. I got confused.
No, it's a Christmas Story. It's a kid. I think it's based out of oh gosh, I don't even know. Somewhere in I don't know, somewhere in the U.S. Midwest, and a little boy wants a BB gun for Christmas, and the whole story is about him wanting this BB gun, but they keep telling him you're gonna poke your eye out, kid. You're gonna take your eye out. And of course he gets it, and of course it gets his eye, right?
But no,
it's a fun. You haven't seen The Christmas Story?
No, I'm looking it up right now. Okay,
Christmas Story. So there's a favorite. There's a lot of scenes there. You probably remember the one the dad wins a prize and ended up being like a lamp, but it was a leg. It was a leg lamp with like fishneck stockings, and the wife was like not having it. He would show it off to the neighborhood. It's a lot, dude. That's another one. A Christmas Story. I can't believe I haven't seen that one.
I have to watch that.
So there you go.
So you were going to talk about Love Hard.
Oh yeah, you didn't like it, huh?
I didn't like it.
Why didn't you like it
at all? I don't know. It was like very boba. How we, como decimos acá, muy boba. Like it was very forced. I knew from the beginning she was being catfished. I knew it. Like it was like so predictable for me.
I thought it was funny. I thought it was a clever way. First of all, I like movies that pair. That's not your typical like here's a super hunky man and then a beautiful damsel. I like that it was totally different, right? Like and I don't want to spoil. I mean, you know what? If you want to watch this, I want to stop here. But if you want to watch it, let us. If you did watch it, let us know your take. But again, it was Jimmy Yang, I believe, and
Nina.
he's a comedian, and then Nina Dobrev, she was from what was that show?
Vampire Diaries.
Vampire Diaries. Yeah, beautiful girl.
Very
beautiful
pretty girl.
Lady, a very pretty girl. And then Jimmy is just a comedian. I think he's from Hong Kong originally. He moved to the States. Not a typical, when you think about that, it's not prototypical Hollywood movie. And that's what I loved about it. I'm like, I like this, because we have to get out of the whole, like, Jude Law and Cameron Diaz, right?
Hey.
And I understand that.
Hey.
I know. Jude Law and
Jude
Lash.
Law. Oh my God, I wish. But it was like so predictable to me. And I was like, okay, she's getting catfish. Oh yeah, it's him. Oh yeah, she's gonna fall for him anyway. Like, I was like,
I did like there was, my favorite, I did like the scene that was awkward. I always love awkward scenes where you're just like, oh my gosh, I would hate to be that person, but it's also like funny to watch and entertaining. When she took that shot and started dancing in the karaoke and her face got all
because she got a peanut. No, what?
No, it was
an allergy. Kiwi. Kiwi. Was like,
she was dancing. It was like, it's one of the. I love that type of humor where you're just like, oh, like in real life you'll feel bad for that person, but you can't help but laugh. Like,
it had funny parts. It had funny parts, but overall, I was like, I even tweeted about it, like, hey. There's this movie. Don't watch it. Don't watch it.
You should have gave me that warning before I watched it.
I posted it, and I'm sorry. I should like tag you. Like, hey, don't watch it.
Beware.
But
I liked it. Maybe you know what? Watch it again with an open heart, open mind.
Okay.
You're not gonna like all the movies that I like, G. It's okay.
It's okay.
We're at different levels, I think when it comes to,
siblings fight. Siblings can disagree.
Yeah. We disagree. What accent was that? Disagree.
Disagree.
We disagree, okay? It's okay.
We disagree.
That's Italian now.
I don't know.
Oh my gosh. Right. Well, gee, you know what? It is, there's one of those things that we did. Oh, update. I now have Apple TV, and I've been watching I watched the first 4 episodes of Ted Lasso.
Thank you.
So that is something we will want to discuss here. We're watching it, and of course, I knew I was gonna love it. I love it so much. I can't wait to finish it. No, we need to talk about it.
I told you, yeah, we need an entire episode about Ted Lasso.
Gosh. Maybe several episodes. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
I just can't help
but so good, right?
Love that character. Oh my gosh, I love that movie so far, and I heard it's gonna get better. I'm only 4 episodes in, and I hear it's just gonna get better. So.
Season 2 is so good too. I heard that there's going to be a 3rd and final season.
No, a final?
Yeah. I watched an interview with Jason Sudeikis. I don't know what's his name. Sudeikis. And he said that they only planned for 3 seasons.
3.
So
that's a bummer.
That's
okay, well, coming in hot. There you go. Oh, now that I have Apple TV Plus, what other recommendations do you have for me?
The Servant.
That's Servant.
Scary, but it's so good.
Is it a movie or a show?
No, it's a show.
Oh,
2 seasons so far. It's so good. The Servant. So good. What else? The Morning Show is also pretty good with Jennifer Aniston and Reese Witherspoon. It's good. And I think there's another one called C with Jason Momoa. I don't know what. Yeah, the Aquaman guy, gorgeous.
Jason Momoa.
Him. Those are my recommendations. Okay. The Servant. Watch The Servant.
Okay, it's creepy, scary, drama. Okay. You know what? I think one of the episodes we're gonna have like Jean name all the celebrities because I don't know about you, but I'm entertained just hearing her say the names like Momoa, Reese Witherspoon. Go back and watch that. You just it's pretty awesome. And then Sudeikis.
Oh my God.
That alone is worth the
Don't make me laugh. I'm going to start coughing.
That is only worth your admission ticket to the show. You're welcome. All right. Well, once again, G, we are coming to the end of our show.
Time flies when you're having fun.
what's coming up next for our show? I know that next episode we're going to talk about what are some Christmas traditions, both in Mexico and the U.S. Gia is going to share some of her traditions. I'll share some of mine. We'll see if there's any that we, share in common still that, we kept in my family that maybe transitions nice. But even in Mexico, there's various different traditions in different parts of Mexico too, right? When it comes to Christmas, I imagine.
Yeah. And they're so pretty, so interesting. A lot of story behind those traditions. So it's going to be a good one next one.
So be ready, watch out, look out for that episode. But with that, once again, from the Stash and Lash Studios.
Desde la Ciudad de Mexico.
In Phoenix, Arizona. Signing off until next time, El Stash Show.
And the Lash. See you soon.
Bye. Adios. Merry Christmas, you filthy animals.
Keep the change, you filthy animal.
Yippee-yi, yippee-yi, what? Yippee-yi,
yippee-ki-yay, mother bleep.